Chapter 8. The Death of a Horse by Victor Hugo from the book Les Miserables. The dinners are better at Edon S than at Bombarda S, exclaimed Zéphine. I prefer Bombarda to Edon, declared Blachevelle. There is more luxury. It is more Asiatic. Look at the room downstairs. There are mirrors on the walls. I prefer them on my plate, said Favorite. Blachevelle persisted. Look at the knives. The handles are of silver at Bombarda's and of bone at Edon's. Now, silver is more valuable than bone. Except for those who have a silver chin, observed Tholomyès. He was looking at the dome of the Invalides, which was visible from Bombarda's windows. A pause ensued. Tholomyès, exclaimed Famuel, Listelier, and I were having a discussion just now. A discussion is a good thing, replied Tholomyès. A quarrel is better. We were disputing about philosophy. Well, which do you prefer, Descartes or Spinoza? Desargiers, said Tholomyès. This decree pronounced, he took a drink and went on. I consent to live. All is not at an end on earth since we can still talk nonsense. For that I return thanks to the immortal gods. We lie. One lies, but one laughs. One affirms, but one doubts. The unexpected bursts forth from the syllogism. That is fine. There are still human beings here below who know how to open and close the surprise box of the paradox merrily. This, ladies, which you are drinking with so tranquil an air is Madeira wine, you must know, from the vineyard of Curl des Frères, which is 317 fathoms above the level of the sea. Attention while you drink. 317 fathoms. And Monsieur Bombarda, the magnificent eating housekeeper, gives you those 317 fathoms for 4 francs and 50 centimes. Again Famuel interrupted him. Tholomyès, your opinions fix the law. Who is your favorite author? Burns. Quinn. No Chu. And Tholomyès continued. Honor to Bombarda, he would equal Monophys of Elephanta if he could but get me an Indian dancing girl, and Thygelion of Ch. Aronia if he could bring me a Greek courtesan. For, oh, ladies, there were Bombardas in Greece and in Egypt. Apuleius tells us of them. Alas, always the same, and nothing new, nothing more unpublished by the Creator in creation. Nil sub sol novum, says Solomon, amor omnibus idem, says Virgil, and Carabine mounts with Carabine into the bark at St. Cloud, as Aspasia embarked with Pericles upon the fleet at Samos. One last word. Do you know what Aspasia was, ladies? Although she lived at an epoch when women had, as yet, no soul, she was a soul of a rosy and purple hue, more ardent-hued than fire, fresher than the dawn. Aspasia was a creature in whom 2 extremes of womanhood met. She was the goddess prostitute, Socrates plus Manon Lescaut. Aspasia was created in case a mistress should be needed for Prometheus. Tholomyès, once started, would have found some difficulty in stopping, had not a horse fallen down upon the quay just at that moment. The shock caused the cart and the orator to come to a dead halt. It was a Beauceron mare, old and thin, and one fit for the knacker, which was dragging a very heavy cart. On arriving in front of Bombarda S, the worn-out, exhausted beast had refused to proceed any further. This incident attracted a crowd. Hardly had the cursing and indignant carter had time to utter with proper energy the sacramental word, Matin the jade, backed up with a pitiless cut of the whip, when the jade fell, never to rise again. On hearing the hubbub made by the passers-by, Tholomyès, merry auditors turned their heads, and Tholomyès took advantage of the opportunity to bring his allocution to a close with this melancholy strophe. Elitate de si monde au caucus et carrosses ont le même destin, et Ross, elevacusique vivant les Rosses, 50 espace d'un matin. 3. Poor horse, sighed Fantine. And Dahlia exclaimed. There is Fantine, on the point of crying over horses. How can one be such a pitiful fool as that? At that moment Favorite, folding her arms and throwing her head back, looked resolutely at Tholomyès and said, Come now, the surprise. Exactly, the moment has arrived, replied Tholomyès. Gentlemen, the hour for giving these ladies a surprise has struck. Wait for us a moment, ladies. It begins with a kiss, said Blachevelle. On the brow, added Tholomyès. Each gravely bestowed a kiss on his mistress's brow. Then all four filed out through the door, with their fingers on their lips. Favorite clapped her hands on their departure. It is beginning to be amusing already, said she. Don't be too long, murmured Fantine. We are waiting for you.